Commissioner, I think this has got to be one of the most magnificent, amazing buildings in town here, but obviously the work that they're doing inside here is just as important as the beauty of it.
You know, this is amazing to have this type of specialty in our community where citizens of Southern Nevada, or Nevada for that matter, do not have to leave our state to go and get this type of treatment. And when the vision was brought forward, and to have that partnership bring it to fruition with Cleveland Clinic, I thought, man, what a gold mine. But when I had an opportunity to meet Frank Gehry, the designer of this facility here, and to Mayor Oscar Goodman's, former Mayor Oscar Goodman's credit in the city of Las Vegas, this was something that I was so proud of, because I remember sitting in his studio when this was being designed, and he kept taking pieces of paper and he was sketching on a piece of paper, and he didn't like the idea, so he would ball it up and throw it on the floor. Finally, he just started looking at the floor, and all these bundles of paper were on the floor, and he just took them and started putting them together, and that's how he created this building. Freaked us out, but it's just amazing to be here, and just happy to serve.
Obviously, Alzheimer's, horrible disease, and other affiliated diseases. I mean, bad news. It's on average $174,000 per patient from diagnosis to death, and statistics bear out that 1 out of 8 Americans over the age of 65 will contract this horrible disease.
Absolutely, and to be able to come here and have you know, such a jewel right here in our own community to address such an important issue here. Lou Ruvo was just a wonderful man in this community, and his son Larry, who is carrying on his father's tradition. I mean, you know, God bless him. You know, his father suffered Alzheimer's, if you will, and you know, to be able to come back and not only take pain that you've personally experienced, but to bring something to put in a community to say to others, you know, we have something right here that will maybe come in and help mitigate some of the issues you and your family are having with this horrible disease, is just a blessing. And so we want to thank the Ruvo family for even having the vision of bringing this to Southern Nevada.
Obviously, you mentioned there's a lot of heroes involved here, and there's actually even some good news. This place has raised over $100 million for research and cure of Alzheimer's and other neurocognitive disorders.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. There are so many people who have suffered from this disorder and disease, if you will, but I don't care what anybody says. Southern Nevada has to be one of the most generous communities in the nation. And for people to come together for one great common cause, it's a win for everybody.
Commissioner, we've seen buildings, including ours across the street, which was built in 1995. This whole area, this whole park area is really growing up. We're going to see another building next door here, the Smith Center for Performing Arts. How is that going to help change downtown, and how is that going to help downtown and Clark County? Yeah,
you know, of course, to the credit of the city of Las Vegas, they're doing a great job, and we're just so happy to see downtown flourish and be revitalized. And that was the whole vision, is to take this jewel in the desert and turn it into something spectacular. With the Smith Center coming on, I mean, that is going to be absolutely amazing, to be able to have musicals and plays and all types of performances in our community right here in downtown Las Vegas. And so, you know, we're seeing some great synergy. We're seeing a lot of people get excited about what's happening down here, and just can't wait for it to open. I mean, not only do we have the Smith Center that will be opening up soon, but the Lou Ruvo, you know, Brain Institute here, of course, World Market Center, the Premium Outlet Mall. There's a lot of things going on, and then not to mention the brand new City Hall, all right here in this one geographic area. So a lot of great things going on adjacent to the Clark County Government Center, and we're just so happy to be partners with the city of Las Vegas and see all of this, you know, come together as one.
I think even in this discussion, Commissioner, we've discussed the city of Las Vegas a lot, which is pretty much impossible not to in District D, because so many of these projects are city and county projects, and quite frankly, the taxpayers don't really care whether it's coming from the city or the county, and they're serving everyone in the county regardless.
Absolutely. And you know, one of the things I'm really excited about, and I don't know too many people whom in their lifetime would ever have an opportunity to serve in this capacity, but being a former city councilman and now county commissioner is really an honor. You know, a native Nevadan, to be able to come and see your community grow, but to be able to participate and be hands-on with it. You know, I'm really excited. As a former councilman, you know, this was a project that I had an opportunity to participate in, World Market Center. I'm one of the founders of the Smith's Performing Arts Center. And so it's really, really, really been a blessing, and I like the fact that things are turning around for Southern Nevada, and jobs are being created, and people's lives are being changed, and it's a slow process, but it's happening, and I'm just proud to be a part of it.
As you mentioned, the new City Hall changing the dynamic, moving a few blocks south of where they presently are. How is that going to affect any county services in the downtown area, either through the Regional Justice Center or others?
I think if you think in terms of it being a negative impact, I don't see that at all. I think it's going to be a great impact, especially for neighboring businesses, to have all of those city employees and the county employees all within the same block, if you will, and all of us supporting small businesses in the neighborhood. I think it's a win-win for everyone, and so I love it with what they're doing over there at the old City Hall, possibly bringing in Zappos. That's going to be hundreds of more employees downtown, and so the more people that we can get down here, we can get a number of these high-rise buildings occupied, if you will, that have sat empty for a long time, and to possibly see a positive change and all that. So I think it's going to be a win. We welcome them in our neighborhood.
Absolutely, in District D. Commissioner, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department's new headquarters just opened up a few blocks from where we're sitting. That has been under construction for a number of years, but let's face it, in big cities such as ours, most every other place has their own police headquarters, so this is long overdue and very well needed for Sheriff Gillespie and the men and women of...
Yeah, for a long time, Metro has been occupying the 8th floor and the basement over at City Hall. But to now have them in their own, what we call the Metroplex, right here in District D on the corner of Martin Luther King and Alta. It's a beautiful building. It is now almost considered a one-stop shop. And so people who are having to go all over the place for fingerprinting and various licensing issues, they can do that right there at that one location. And so it turned out fantastic. It's working real well, and it's been well received thus far by the adjacent neighbors over in the Rancho Manor neighborhood. So we're really happy, and it actually looks really great. If you hadn't had an opportunity to go in and see it, definitely go in and check it out. Really, really beautiful. Turned out great.
Maybe if you could just tell some of our new viewers a little bit about how Metro's funding mechanism works between the city and the county, and how they're able to build a building like this, Commissioner?
Absolutely. Metro's funding, a lot of people believe that as elected officials, we oversee the police department. Technically, we don't. Our sheriff is elected by the public, all right, and the sheriff is responsible for his staffing. Now, in terms of their funding, we have a 5-member board, 2 members from Clark County, 2 members from the city of Las Vegas, and 1 private citizen that makes up fiscal affairs. That's what they oversee, the budget. And when you look at the percentage that's divided, we have a certain amount of percentage. City of Las Vegas has a certain amount of percentage that we bring to the table to make up their budget. And so I think that's important for the public to know that that's pretty much the only thing we oversee is their budget. We work through the state legislature in terms of increases. We look to see if in fact there's any leverage in terms of their monies, if in fact we need to decrease. When it comes to bonding, all of that goes through, of course, fiscal affairs, but by way of Clark County. And again, no major changes can be made to Metro without legislative changes. And so at the end of the day, again, Commissioner Larry Brown and Commissioner Steve Sisolak serves on our Fiscal Affairs Committee representing Clark County. So those are our 2 representatives from that entity.
Bottom line, the money spent to build the new headquarters was earmarked a long time ago.
Well, we earmarked that, yes, you're absolutely right, I'm sorry. We earmarked that actually about 2 years ago, okay, to build that Metroplex. And, those were general funds. There's a lot of bonding that came into play with that. And there were some things that had to take a back seat in order to get that building accomplished. But we think at the end of the day it's going to serve its purpose. And I supported it, and I'm glad I did.